My dear brother, my dear sister, have you ever felt overwhelmed by worry? Have you ever looked at your situation and wondered, what will happen tomorrow? If yes, then listen carefully to this beautiful story, because sometimes, the greatest lesson in life comes from the simplest people. Once upon a time in a small peaceful village there lived an elderly woman named Khala Amina. Her hair was silver, her face carried the marks of age, but her eyes were filled with warmth, kindness, and peace. Everyone in the village loved her, not because she was rich, not because she was powerful, but because no matter how difficult life Bekamesh always remained calm, always grateful, and always hopeful. Khala Amina lived alone in a small house near the village mosque. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and Allah had not blessed her with children. Yet despite her loneliness no one ever heard her complain. Every morning after Fajr prayer, she would sit outside her little home, the Quran softly recited from her lips, the cool morning breeze passing through the village, and a gentle smile always resting on her face. Anyone who passed by her received a warm greeting, and somehow after speaking to her people felt lighter, as if their worries had become smaller. Life in that village was not easy. The farmers worked from sunrise until sunset. The rains were unpredictable. The harvests were uncertain. Many families struggled just to survive. And because of this worry had become a regular guest in many homes. One afternoon a young woman named Maryam came to visit Khala Amina. Her eyes were red from crying, her face was filled with fear, and her heart carried a heavy burden. Khala Amina, she said softly, I don't know what to do anymore. My husband went to the city to find work, but weeks have passed and he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry, and I am afraid. Khala Amina gently held her hand. She invited her to sit beside her. Then she asked calmly, my dear, what is it that you fear the most? Maryam lowered her head. I fear the worst. What if he cannot find work? What if something happened to him? What if he forgets about us? Khala Amina smiled kindly. Then she said, Maryam, when our hearts become filled with fear we sometimes forget who Allah is. We forget that He is Ar-Razzaq, the provider, the one who never forgets His servants. Then she gently recited, and whoever puts his trust in Allah then He will suffice him. My dear, worry does not change destiny, but dua, hope and trust in Allah bring peace to the heart. Maryam looked at her and asked, but Khala Amina, how can I stay positive when everything feels so heavy? The old woman smiled. Then she said, let me tell you a story. Long ago, there lived a poor man, a man who had lost almost everything. His wealth was gone, his home was gone, his hopes were fading away. One day he sat beside a riverbank, weeping, feeling as though life had no meaning. As he sat there an old traveler happened to pass by. The traveler noticed the man's tears. He stopped and asked, my son, why do you cry? The man replied, because I have nothing left. Everything is gone. How can I ever be at peace again? The traveler looked around. Then he pointed toward the flowing river, the green trees, the bright sky, and the warm sunlight. Then he said, look around you. Allah has given you a river that never stops flowing, trees that give shade, the warmth of the sun, the beauty of the sky, and most importantly the breath still moving inside your chest. These are blessings that money cannot buy. If you only focus on what you have lost, your heart will remain heavy. But if you thank Allah for what remains, your heart will find peace. The man became silent. For the first time truly looked around. He heard birds singing. He felt the cool breeze. He felt the warmth of the sunlight on his face. And slowly his eyes filled with gratitude. He whispered, Alhamdulillah, just one word, but it changed everything. His problems did not disappear overnight. His situation did not magically improve, but his heart changed. And when the heart changed, life begins to change too. With patience, with effort, and with trust in Allah, step by step his life improved. Khala Amina looked at Maryam and smiled. You see, my dear, the man's life changed because his heart changed. When we replace fear with gratitude and worry with trust in Allah, we find the strength to continue, and then we leave the results to Him. Maryam sat quietly, thinking deeply. Then she asked, do you really believe this will help me? Khala Amina nodded. Yes, inshallah. Every morning before saying anything else to say Alhamdulillah. Make dua for your husband, work hard, take care of your children, and trust Allah's plan, because worry steals today's peace for a tomorrow that may never happen the way we fear. Maryam slowly nodded. I understand. I will try. Inshallah. She left that day with a lighter heart, and from that moment forward she began every morning with gratitude. She said, Alhamdulillah. She made dua. She cared for her children. She worked hard, and she left the rest to Allah. Days passed. Then weeks passed, and one morning a letter arrived. Mariam's hands trembled as she opened it. As she read the words, tears filled her eyes. But this time they were tears of joy. Her husband had found a good job. He was safe, and he was sending money home. Mariam rushed to Khala Amina's house, excited to share the wonderful news. When Khala Amina heard the news, she raised her hands toward the sky, and she said, Alhamdulillah. Then she smiled and said, my child, when we turn to Allah with grateful hearts, He eases our affairs in ways we never imagined. Difficulties will always come. Trials will always come. But Tawakkul, trusting Allah while doing our part, is what carries us through. Soon, people throughout the village began speaking about Khala Amina's wisdom. People came from near and far, each carrying worries, each carrying fears, and every single time she gave the same beautiful advice: be grateful, make dua, do your best, and leave the rest to Allah. And slowly people of that village learned the true meaning of Tawakkul, not just with their minds, but with their hearts. And because of that, they found something more valuable than wealth. They found peace. My dear brother, my dear sister, whatever burden you are carrying today, remember this: trust Allah. Do your best, make sincere dua, and leave the outcome to Him, because Allah never abandons those who place their trust in Him.